Hello again, everyone. Chris here from 2vaped.com, and today we are going to be talking about the Kayfun Lite Plus. Now, we just got some Kayfun Lite Plus clones in over at 2vaped, and what I'm going to do today is take you on a quick walkthrough of the kits that we have in stock, and then we'll go up close and I'll show you the coil that I like to build on these. It's a 0.6 ohm coil. I'll show you how to build that, how to wick it, fill it up, and then do a quick demo and give you my impressions on the device. So let's take a look at the kit. There it is, Kayfun Lite Plus. On the back there's a couple bullet points and a little diagram of what it comes with. First thing on top is an overly detailed instruction manual. Now, I'm not going to go through everything in here because there's way too much, but it's great. There's a little troubleshooting guide in the back and a voltage and resistance chart in Russian. Inside the kit there are two little boxes. We'll take those out. Start with the heavier box first because that's where all the good stuff is. So it comes with a little screwdriver keychain, and this is awesome for adjusting the airflow control valve, and it works to tighten the screws down when you're building the coil. One side is a Phillips head. It's not going to go into focus, but you can take my word on it. The other side is a flathead, and that's pretty awesome. I have one on my keychain always. Since I carry quite a few Kayfuns, I always like to be able to adjust the airflow on them. And then we have the actual Kayfun Lite Plus itself. See on the bottom they move the fill screw, so now you don't have to worry about any special bottles to fill on the side. You just take the screw out and fill it up. Standard 510 drip tip. I will be putting a different one on later. And there's the tank. Alright, the second box has all the accessories. And like I said, this kit is one of the most complete kits I've ever seen. I don't know of any others like it on the market. It's the same kit that comes with the Kayfun 3.1 ES that we have on the site. We have a 10 milliliter bottle, which you can just fill up with your liquid of choice. Has a nice little needle tip to easily fill through the hole in the bottom. Comes with some silica wick. And then on the other side of this box is the spare parts. There you have all your replacement O-rings, replacement screws, a couple pre-rolled coils that are probably not very good, and a metal piece. For the middle, if you don't want to use the plastic tube, if you have juice that you think might crack it, you can put the metal tube in. I like to be able to see my liquid. Alright, so that's just a quick overview of the kit. Let's go ahead and get up close and I'll show you guys how to build the coil. Like I said, it's a 0.6 ohm coil. A lot of people say they don't like to go too far into sub-ohm with the Kayfun because they have issues. I haven't had any issues at 0.6. I think the flavor and vapor production is excellent. So let's get up there and I'll show you guys how it's done. Okay everyone, welcome to the fun part. Now we are going to build our coil for the Kayfun Lite Plus. We are going to build a 0.6 ohm coil today using 26 gauge Kanthal wire and a 5/64 inch drill bit. Here we have everything we need to build our coil. We have the Kayfun itself, obviously, the Kanthal wire, the 5/64 inch drill bit to wrap the wire around, a butane lighter to clean the wire before we use it, resistance checker, scissors to cut our cotton, which we'll be using for wick, needle nose pliers in case we need to adjust the coil a little bit, two-sided screwdriver that comes in the kit with the atomizer, and of course a napkin just in case we need to get a little messy. So before we get started, get your length of Kanthal ready. You always want to use a butane torch to clean it up. This torch isn't very good. It's kind of out of fluid at the moment, so use whatever you have there. Those work. A larger propane torch is fine as well. Just heat the length of the wire until it's red hot. That'll burn off any chemicals that might be residual from manufacturing, and it makes the wire a little easier to work with. The resistance checker I like to use as a base to work on. We have these available at 2vaped as well. So let's go ahead and disassemble the Kayfun, and we'll get going on the coil. Take off the drip tip. Like I said, this can take any standard 510 drip tip, which is pretty awesome. We'll take off the top cap here. The O-ring is very good, very tight, you just saw there. Bear with me on this camera angle as well. I'm going to do my best to keep everything in frame and not have too much trouble building the coil. Take off the liquid chamber, and here we have the chimney and the vapor consolidation tube. Covers the coil. And here's the actual deck where we will be working. See if it'll focus on there. You can see it's the same as the normal Kayfun deck. It's got 2 posts, 2 juice channels, and an air hole in the middle. We're going to build our coil to go diagonally over the hole in the middle, and that way our wick will pull up juice from both sides. Let's go ahead and put that in the base. I just like to put it in here so it's stable and easy to work with. First thing we'll do is take our screwdriver and raise up these screws that will wrap the coil around. Like I said, this is the little mini screwdriver that came in the starter kit. This is really great. I use it all the time working with these Kayfuns. So we'll lift up the screws enough to get our wire wrapped around underneath. Okay, there's 1 and 2. And now let's go ahead and wrap our coil. This is going to be a 0.6 ohm coil. I said again, that's 26 gauge Kanthal wire and a 5/64 inch drill bit. That's 5/64. With this resistance wire and that diameter bit, it comes out to about 0.1 ohms per wrap, so it's pretty easy to figure out. Our target's going to be 6 ohms, so we're going to go for 6 wraps. Now, we're going to want the coil to lay over the hole like this, diagonally. So we want 1 tail to go to this direction, 1 tail to go to that direction. Let's go ahead and get it wrapped. Do 1. Now this is going to be a little tricky to keep this good up on this camera, but let's see what we can do. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we'll bring it back around. Okay, let me just move this up. You see there's a little bit of a gap there. That's not too bad. If we just pull it in a little tighter, we'll take care of that with the needle nose pliers later. But that's it's pretty much the coil that we're looking for. Have a look there. We have a tail coming off each side, so it'll be easy to tie down. And let's go ahead and mount it up and see how she does. So again, this is going to be a little bit tricky because of the camera angle. I mean, having the camera in front of me. But the goal is to have a little bit of space. Not quite that much. I'm going to do it this high so when we tighten down the screws we have a little wiggle room. You want the leg facing you to go on the screw on the right, the leg in the back to go to the screw on the left. Position the coil just centered over the hole at an angle, and take the leg and just wrap it all the way around the screw one time. Sorry about that, someone just texted me, I should have turned that off. So we wrap it around, and I left that leg a little bit longer than I wanted, so I'm just going to make it shorten it up a little bit. There we go. Give it one good wrap around the screw with that side. Let's see if we can get that to focus and show. And then let's position the coil where we want it here over the center hole. And take our other leg, wrap it around the screw on this side. Now, when you're wrapping around the screw, you want to go counterclockwise. So when you tighten the screw, you're not undoing it. So one full wrap around the screw here with the wire. Let's see. It's a little tough with the thicker gauge wire, but you can get it. Maybe I'll use the tweezers to help push it down over the edge. Come on, there we go. Grab that, pull it through. Okay, so we're wrapped around both posts now. The hard part is complete. Now we just need to fine tune and make sure everything's looking good. Okay, hopefully we can show both sides. If we take a look down, you can see it's pretty well centered right over the coil, over the air hole. Sorry, it needs to go just a little bit up this way. No problem there. And from the side, you can see how much of a gap there is. That's pretty good. When we tighten the screws down, that'll get reduced to right about where we want it. So, hold on to one side of the bit to keep the coil in place, and just go ahead and tighten down your posts. Okay, pretty snug, that's good. Then we'll do the other side. Now I could feel the coil going down towards the air hole as we do this, so let's we'll take a look and see how we did. Alright, that's pretty nice. I'm liking the look of this coil. I think it's going to vape pretty well. Let's go ahead and slip out the bit. You can take a look right through there. It's looking good. Looks good. Show you the other side. I'm happy. Let's take a look at the resistance. Oh, jumping around 0.82. Let's tighten these down a little more. 0.76. 0.67. Alright, that's right about where we like it. A little bit higher than I expected. Maybe I left my leads a little long, but you know, this will still be nice. Let's see, now we just need to trim off the excess. I forgot to grab my fingernail clippers, which I would usually use for this. I have some of these monstrosities, so hopefully I could be clean with them. Grab that off. Grab this side. See, the resistance went up a little bit there. Let's tighten those screws back down. Okay, 0.65. So there we are. Right over the air hole. Maybe we could nudge it up just a little more that way. Looks good. Let's go ahead and get our wick in there. We'll fill it up and get vaping. So for the wick, this is the same wick that I used in the other video that I made for the Kayfun 3.1. Just pull off a very small amount of cotton, way less than you think you need. These are Rite Aid brand sterile cotton balls. They're pretty commonly found. Any drugstore will have them. Find a nice strand of cotton here. I think that looks pretty good. Very little bit, just a wisp. Roll it up into a nice little ball. Not ball, I'm sorry. But remember, roll, don't twist. You want just snug enough to fit through the coil. Alright. Wet the tips of your fingers and roll that up into something that should be easy enough to thread. And let's go ahead, feed it through. This is where it gets nice and tricky for me. One side and pull it on out. Okay, very nice. And when judging where we want to trim the wick, I like to use the side of the deck as my guide. So you just come right up to the edge of the deck and snip. Same with this side, right up to the edge of the deck, snip. And there's our beautiful cotton wick and a brand new coil. And the way this wick is going to work, when it's down against the side like that, the juice comes right up the channel, straight to our coil. No nonsense, no excess wick holding your juice away from the coil. Let's see, we'll pull it a little bit towards that side. That looks like it'll be good. Let's make sure it's pretty even on both sides. Okay. Okay, looking great. Go ahead and put this on. Now, see there, the one problem with not having a nice, good, close trim from the fingernail clippers is that it's snagging on the inside, but we'll just push that up. And push it up with the scissors there. Make sure the resistance is still good. Okay, good. Go ahead and put the chamber on. Now today I'm going to be using some Vapor Chef's Colbert's Wonderful Nuts. Haven't tried it before. It's pistachio ice cream apparently. 70% VG. We'll just shake that up briefly and go ahead and get the coil started. And we'll just put a couple of drops on here for the moment, just to get the vacuum started once we put it all together. Okay, make sure the cotton's nice and saturated. And let's go ahead and finish putting the Kayfun together all the way. And then at this point, I'll take it off the base because we don't need this anymore. Put everything else back together, and then we'll fill it up through the screw in the bottom and get vaping. See, that wasn't too bad, was it? Hopefully you all have pretty good luck when you're building it as well. Please leave me comments below and let me know if this helped or what you guys thought of the build. Go ahead and get this screw out of the bottom. Come on. Okay, and then there's the fill hole that we have to work with. It's not quite perfect for the Vapor Chef drippers, but I think I'll be able to make it work. It does. This kit comes with a 10 milliliter bottle with a needle drip tip that makes filling it a breeze. Let's go ahead and get some liquid in there. The capacity on this is the same as the full-size Kayfun, 4.5 milliliters. They reduced the base by moving the refill mechanism to the bottom instead of that valve that the original Kayfun style has. Oops, sorry, put that back in frame. Just wanted to make sure I wasn't spilling juice all over myself. Just making a little bit of a mess, so we'll be okay. Go ahead and... So we're not going to spend all day putting juice in. There's enough in there to keep going. Clean up after myself. Like I said, if you have a nice needle tip, that makes it easier to fill. And one does come with the kit. Put the screw back in the bottom. Fill that up so we don't make a mess. And there we have it, guys. That was it. Now we have a nicely built 0.67 ohm coil in our Kayfun Lite Plus. Let's go back to the wide shot. We'll put it up on the mod and I'll show you how it vapes. Welcome back. Hopefully that was fun and enjoyable for everyone watching, and I hope you now have a fully functional Kayfun Lite Plus built in your hands and attached to your mod. Today I'm using the Chi clone, which we have up at 2 Vaped, and this coil, like we saw, was 0.67 ohms, filled up with some 7030 VGPG Colbert's wonderful nuts from the Vapor Chef. Let's go ahead and give it a test. It's delicious and cloudy, just like you would expect from a Kayfun, and that is why everyone loves them. So, thanks everyone for watching. Please give me a thumbs up if this has helped you. Subscribe if you like the videos we have here. And come on by 2vaped.com to check out everything we have. Thanks again. I look forward to hearing your comments. If you have any suggestions for future videos, leave them below. Let me know what you think of this build. Have a great night, everyone, and vape on.